So, I was telling you earlier, I've been going through this phase where I'm kind of cleaning out the fat, or not cleaning out, but trimming the fat, I guess, on my finances and everything. Mm-hmm. And I do it every so often, and I'm going through my bank statements, and Melissa and I would go out to eat, and you know how when they bring you your bill, you have to sign off, you put the total, and then you put the tip in on the tip line, and then you put the total and all that. Well, they run them separately, or like somehow it shows up on my bank statement separately, the tip and then the total. Okay.
You're a pretty decent tipper, I hear.
Well, this is the problem. So I was looking through my bank statements yesterday, and we'd gone out to eat, and the bill was about $50. There's a hair under, and I tipped $10.
Okay. So quick math, 20%?
20%, right. But then I started looking at other restaurant charges, and I'm always tipping 20%, like always, which I think it's a good amount to tip. It's not like it's not extremely excessive, but it's still a good amount. But then I started thinking, okay, wait a second. I know the service wasn't like that good.
Right. So if someone's kind of crummy to you or fantastic, both of them get 20%.
They both get 20%, and I'm like, why do I tip 20% no matter what? So in order for me to even alter my tip, I have to basically get the worst service on the face of the planet.
Right. No, I have a sister who really does take a checklist in mentally.
Yeah.
And she will not tip unless the person is friendly, stops by 2 or 3 times, is quick with responses as far as if she needs anything, and really helps her. You know what I mean? Otherwise, she's like, sorry, and we get into this huge argument because when I was in college, one of my friends...
you were programmed to tip. Right?
Programmed to tip because I had this girlfriend who worked all these overnights while we were all out having fun. When she got her check, because she was making like $3 an hour, expecting to get tips to make it up. Right. Her check was tiny, and she just burst into tears in our dorm room, and I'll never forget that. And I was like,
I want to throw this out there real quick. 260-9870. When you go to tip at a restaurant, do you walk in with a set amount or a set percentage that you're going to tip off the bat, or do you start with nothing and have to build up to it?
Right, that's a really good question.
Right?
Yeah, and also, do you tip at Starbucks when you, stand there?
No way.
Pizza Hut, if you pick it up.
I don't do Starbucks.
Do you just
I
put a line through it?
No. Yeah, you know what? And here's the thing. I did get over that about a year ago, because I used to feel guilty to do it all the time.
I feel weird when people are watching.
Yeah, they watch you. They're like, hey. They're like,
can't you spare $1?
So I'm watching you right now, and you're writing that out. And if you don't tip me, I'm totally giving you stink evil. You're a cheapskate eye. You suck, by the way. Hey, by the way, you suck. Oh, my God, you suck. If you don't tip me, you suck. You suck. Okay, have a nice day.
Right, well, a guy here who works part-time at a restaurant says he gets taxed, whether he gets tipped or not. So there was a party of 10. They tipped him like $2 or $3. Sure. He chased him down the parking lot and handed it back and said, you know what? It's not even worth it. Attitude.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to start with a checklist. I think this is what I'm going to do, because I'm tired of this. I was looking at it, and 20% isn't overly excessive if you've got good service. I think that's a good, solid tip.
Yeah, if they're doing a great job.
If they did a good job.
Yeah.
But again, I know for a fact every restaurant I've been to in the last 6 months didn't do a great job. Some of them did, some of them didn't.
And I think 15 is supposed to be what they expect.
What is the standard? Is it like 15 or 18 or something like that?
Yeah, 15 is the standard. 20 is just easier to do math-wise.
Right. Because I know at restaurants when they add it on, it's always 18% gratuity.
Sure.
Okay. 260-9870 or 411-987 if you want to text us. Of course, that's brought to us by Sanderson Volvo. Please don't text and drive. Now, I know that Vanessa Carlton, obviously a piano player, is a ballet dancer and has done a lot of studying in New York and a very accomplished ballet dancer at that.
Wow, she's really left brain.
Yeah, she's got like the whole Renaissance thing rocking. So I don't think that she's ever waited tables. I know I have. And a lot of people have been calling in with their different, I guess, because my dilemma right now is that I tip everybody 20% no matter what, and I'm tired of it. I'm done. I'm tired of it.
I'm going to base it on the service.
I want people to start earning their way.
Even though a lot of wait staff, they're not making even minimum wage.
I don't care.
Unless they get tipped well.
I don't care. Here's what I'm going to say. Instead of starting out at 20%, I'm going to start out at 10%. And you have to prove to me that you're worth it. Seriously, you have to prove to me that you're worth me tipping you 20%. Patty?
Wow.
And we haven't heard from a lot of servers.
Hold on, wow. What is wow? What does that mean, wow?
They don't make that much money.
I don't care. You know what? Here's the thing. It's called a tip. Now, that being said, do I want to tip you? Yes, I do. I do. In fact, I was a waiter. I want to tip you. However, you have to prove to me that you're worth anything more than 10%.
Well, no, but listen, Chris.
I say start at 15.
Okay, well, and here's my other point: is minimum wage is what, $7.25?
Oh my God!
Waiters might make $3 an hour, so
I don't care.
They need the tip to make up.
Guess what? Your rent is not my problem.
Oh,
it's not my problem, and that I'm not saying I don't want to tip you.
Me spitting in your food may be your problem.
No. If you give me good service, you'll get 20%. That's what I say. I'm going to start at 10, and guess what? If your service is adequate at best, you might get 12. I'm not kidding.
You've already been doing this all along. You might as now, if you just go back and you tip before the tax, then you're down to your 10%.
There you go. And then guess what, buddy? You got to earn everything above that, and I'm cool with that. Right. Is that okay? I mean, am I being a jerk or what? Monica, why are you being so silent?
Tip 10% on the total, then.
All right. Done and done. 98.7 The Peak. It's all about variety. Chris and Amy in the morning. Monica Nelson, of course, sitting in for Amy. And this tipping dilemma. I'm tired of always paying 20%, even when I know they probably didn't deserve it. I just feel bad. But Daryl says, you know what? Always 18%? What? Daryl, are you smoking crack, buddy?
Explain your thought process.
Yes, I read an article on Yahoo about a year ago, and I'd be happy to forward it to any one of you guys. They say the standard is 18% the moment you sit down. Short of you going up to getting your food and your drinks, that's the norm. I mean,
that's what they deserve.
There's no way you should tip 10%.
No, I'm not saying I want to tip 10%. I'm saying I'm starting there, and when you prove to me that you are a good server and you have done your job well, that's when the tip, not the obligation, but the tip, by definition, the tip starts.
Yeah, I can understand that, but my philosophy, and based on that article, is I'm going to tip 18% no matter what.
All right. Come to the South, they're my tips.
I have taxes to pay.
They're my tips.
You give me 20%.
20% back for being awesome. 260-9870, that's the number. Thank you for everybody that's called in so far on the tipping thing. We'll probably hit this a little bit later on. I did want to ask this question, though, because, we were talking about how I'm tired of always just assuming that everybody gets 20% and kind of scaling it back and starting to base it on service. But what happens when you're a waiter and you get that craptastic little tip? Like somebody tips you like $1 or $2 on like a $50 meal.
Mm-hmm. Or a huge party and everyone forgets to throw a couple dollars on the table or something.
Or you get like $10 on like a $250.
And you've given it your all. You know what I mean? You've been smiling and running around.
Do you do anything? Do you follow them out? You follow them out and go, hey, what the heck?
Yeah, our friend did.
Do you spit on their food next time they come in?
I don't think he did that.
Have you ever spit on their food? Have you ever spit or just...
I don't even want to know. Let's not ask that.
No, I do want to know. And I promise I won't say whatever restaurant you worked at or work at, but I want to know, have you ever spit or done something to somebody's food when they've been jerks to you?
Ew.
Because I have.
You have?
Yep, years and years
Are we
years
talking
ago.
like you spit into some food?
I'm not going to tell you what we did, but this person just was just so incredibly rude. I'm hoping to God they didn't reproduce.
Oh, well, that's very unethical of you.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I was 19 years old, and I'm not even going to apologize for it. I'm glad I did. I'd do it again.